Assalamu alaikum. Today's video is meant for those people who don't have an IT background and they're trying to get into a career in IT, but at times there are a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings they have which kind of holds them back. So in today's video, we will kind of touch base on some of those misconceptions people generally have about a career in IT. Talking a bit about myself, I'm someone who's done around 15 plus years in the IT industry within different IT roles, including some time which I've done with Citigroup and Siemens as well. One of the biggest misconception people have with non-IT backgrounds about a career in IT is that they need to be a tech expert or a geek in a certain technology to actually get into IT. Well, if you look at IT as a whole, IT is not just about computers, people, servers, and coding and cybersecurity and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot about the people, the procedures, the processes, even the documentation. So in any IT function, you will have a lot of roles in which you just need some basic understanding of the technologies, and you combine that with your people skills, your collaboration skills, your business backgrounds, and you kind of deliver what's expected of you. So if you're someone who doesn't have an IT background but you want to get into IT and you're not a tech expert, you still can have a lot of opportunities trying to go for some of these roles. These roles are they're equally well paid, they're equally rewarding, and they're equally important within the IT function. So just quoting some examples, you could be an IT change manager, you could be a collaboration expert, you could be a technical business analyst, documentation specialist, you could be an agile coach, so etc, etc. So there are a lot of such roles which you can go for. The second misconception people generally have is that you need to have a degree in IT to work in IT. Well, it really depends. If you have a degree in IT, that's great because that would definitely help your career prospects. But if you don't, then it's still not an obstacle for you to get into IT, because let's say if you're on a grad level, then there are a lot of companies to recruit you into IT. They're not looking for specifically academic background in IT. Generally, they would ask for some numerical degree you've done in any mathematical sciences or any other sciences. Even some companies would consider if you've done a degree in arts but you are kind of keen to pursue a career in IT and you have the aptitude for that, so it's not a blocker. And even if you're an experienced professional who has done X number of years in a certain industry, you could still switch to a career in IT depending on how much of your past experience you can carry forward with you and how much of that is kind of transferable skills. For example, if you're an accountant, you've done 10 years in accountancy, right, and you want to switch to IT, then you perhaps could go for roles where you kind of combine your numerical skills and your accounting skills with some softwares and some technologies, and then you start building on top of that. So there are a lot of companies, even if you had X number of years in a certain industry, they might be willing to take you on provided you have the aptitude, you have some transferable skills, and more importantly, if you're ready to learn and build your career in IT, right? The third misconception people have is that if you get into IT, you have to kind of always be studying and you have to keep up to date of all the technologies and stuff. Well, this is partly true. It's good to be on top of things, and if you're constantly upskilling, it's great. But even if you're not, then it's not kind of end of the world for you, because what happens is that a lot of companies, they have systems which are running on old technologies and platforms. Generally, we refer these to as legacy systems. So even if the technology moves ahead, it takes a lot of time for these organizations to kind of switch over to the new framework and new technologies. And for those X number of years, they still need people who won't necessarily have the latest skills, but they still need them to kind of keep them running, right? So it's not that if you really you don't upskill continuously, you will be certainly out of work. I'll probably every couple of years, every 3 years, it's good to kind of acquire some new skills. And secondly, that a lot of times when you're working in these IT companies, you are actually upskilling in your daily job role. So it's not that you will have to commit extra effort to like doing weekend courses and stuff like that. I hope this video was helpful in terms of providing you some food for thought. So in case you're someone who's thinking about a career in IT and you don't have an IT background, then do leave me a comment. And if you think it can be for somebody else, please share it with them. Okay, thank you so much.